Hello there everyone, it is Mitsu here and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we will discuss different ways to turn your first touches into successful dribbles. By the end of this video, you will have an idea of when it is good to try and perform such dribbles. However, as I always say, dribbling is not always guaranteed. Of course, you'll always need to take some risk. Anyway, let's get right into some in-game examples. So to start off, let's cover the easiest technique of the examples in this video. You will only need to identify the space available before receiving the ball. Then use your first touch to kick the ball gently into that space. Remember that you can always use your body to cover the ball after kicking it into that area. Just place your body between the ball and the opposition to get full control on the ball. Here, Diogo Jota set the ball up with his chest towards the space, then covered the ball with his body to get the opposition out of the play, which helped him score this lob. This can be applied anywhere on the pitch. Whenever you recognize the space, use your first touch to direct the ball towards it and then move accordingly. You can see how Gundogan had huge spaces behind him in this example, so he took his first touch to the left to be able to turn around and progress the attack forward. This example is similar to Jota's goal that we saw earlier. He used his chest again to kick the ball into the space behind the defender. Before we continue, I would like to thank Orange Football Network for sponsoring this video. If you haven't heard about Orange Football Network yet, it's basically one of the best applications to have as a player or even as a coach. And guess what? It's 100% free. As you can see on the screen, they provide short videos with many tricks and analysis by top-class coaches from around the globe. They work with coaches from Manchester United, West Ham, Real Sociedad, Valencia and much more. Make sure to use the link in the description to download it totally for free. So thanks again to Orange Football Network and let's get right back into the video. Now moving to another technique, for this one you need to delay your first touch as much as you can to pull the opposition out and then use the space that you just created behind them. This will be very useful when getting out with the ball under pressure, since this will have a longer effect on the opposition as they try to completely change their direction after running towards you to apply the high pressure. By completing just one of those dribbles, your team will be able to get rid of the pressure. You will have to completely stand still to let your opposition fall into this trap. The more body feints and shoulder drops you do while taking the first touch, the better outcome you would get. This will work to get rid of the high pressure applied by one opposition, but you can always mix it up with more dribbles after performing it to take on multiple defenders. In this example, Jota actually took 2 touches, but we will allow it cause it fits perfectly with the concepts of this video. So as you can see, he waited until the opposition was very close, which allowed him to stretch the defensive line. Then went for the nutmeg in the space that he just created by doing that. And again, this can be applied anywhere on the pitch. You can always create a good situation to perform this. So for the next technique, you will need to apply a couple of scans and shoulder checks before performing it. You will need to look at 2 things, the opposition and a teammate in a good position. Depending on your scan, you will decide if you want to control the ball later and perform the pass yourself or totally leave the ball to your teammate. This might get tricky sometimes, so to get a better understanding of this topic, let's hear from Coach Carlos Romagosa, who is an expert in this. He is the co-author of the Econo Method, former FC Barcelona coach, and former PSG Academy Technical Director as well. He is currently the Technical Director of the Football Association in Thailand as part of the Econo project that is being delivered over there. So let's get started. What are the perceptive skills?
Son aquellas habilidades que nos permiten recoger información. El fútbol es un juego que se generan numerosos problemas y por lo tanto el jugador debe estar constantemente buscando información sobre lo que está pasando para después tomar buenas decisiones.
Which are the most important aspects of the game that need to be perceived?
Depende de la situación. En determinados momentos, cuando estamos lejos del juego, estamos buscando la organización del equipo, de mi equipo y del equipo contrario. Cuando nos acercamos al balón, estamos más preocupados de dónde están los contrarios, si tengo algún compañero solo con los cuales puedo relacionarme. Incluso cuando el balón está en trayectoria de venir hacia mí, pues seguramente estoy buscando el rival más peligroso, el cual me puede robar el balón. Por lo tanto, depende de cada una de las situaciones, buscaré información sobre un tipo de cosas u otras.
What relationship exists between perception and decision making in football?
Es fundamental la percepción para poder decidir bien. Si yo tengo un campo visual de 30 grados o 40 grados, pues solo podré ver los problemas que aparecen en ese contexto. Si soy capaz de ampliar el campo visual, podré ver más cosas que pasan en el juego, podré tomar mejores decisiones. Por lo tanto, la relación entre percepción y decisión es importantísima.
Alright, so I hope you have enjoyed this interview. I wanted to thank the Econo Coaches Academy for making this possible. Remember that you can sign up for free right now using the link in the description. Don't forget to use the code MitsoJR to receive a lot of free content to get yourself started. You will also be receiving a lot of discounts moving forward. So let's view more in-game examples. The same concept can be applied whenever you are being pressed and you know that you have some spaces behind you. Remember that this might be very risky sometimes when you are the last man, for example. So try to perform some body feints to sort of delay this pressing of the opposition. Keep in mind that sometimes the only way to counter the high pressure is performing one of those dribbles. So your manager might actually want you to take this risk sometimes. But whenever you go for these dribbles in such cases, you need to be very careful as all it takes is one mistake. And you have two ways to go wrong here. Not just failing the dribble, but even if you performed it correctly, any miss pass played in those areas will most likely result in a goal. This will also be useful while attacking whenever one defender leaves the position in an attempt to mark you, since that defender have already helped you in creating the spaces you wanted in the first place. And again, you will want to use your body most of the times to cover the ball and make sure that even if the opposition attempted to go in for a tackle, you would at least get a foul if you couldn't keep the possession of the ball. Moving to another technique, and this one will be a mix of some of the other techniques that we have discussed already. Here you need to identify some spaces beside you. The space doesn't need to be that big, just some little space that you think that you can control the ball there easier. Then you will need to have a very strong touch towards that space. Right after the touch, you will need to go for the opposition directly to block their movement by using your body to cover the ball. As you can see in this example, Jota wanted to receive the ball in front of him, but the ball wasn't delivered over there. Knowing that the opposition will stop to mark him, he took this strong touch inside and turned to easily face the goal and score. As you can see, you do not need huge spaces to apply this, but it will have a direct effect in helping you lose your markers and getting rid of the pressure. Now, whenever you fail to perform any of these, you will find everyone stating the obvious and saying that you have 20 other passing options that you could have used instead of passing the ball to the opposition. But again, this is needed sometimes, so try to balance it out and avoid being repetitive. To increase your chances of completing such dribbles, you will want to work on your agility. Lucky enough, I've made a similar video explaining everything you need to improve your agility and dribbling in general. And you can watch it just by clicking on the screen right now. So that was it guys, I hope you have enjoyed the analysis. Don't forget to sign up for the Econo Coaches Academy using the code MitsoJR from the link in the description and receive your free content. So thanks for watching and I will see you guys in the next one.